Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to today's class. Yesterday, we have discussed scope of political science, meaning, nature, and evolution of political science. Along with that, we have also discussed relationship of political science with other social sciences. Today, we will discuss state and sovereignty. In yesterday's class, I have explained you about the elements of the state. We have discussed 4 elements of state, that is population, territory, government, and sovereignty. Along with that, we have also discussed international recognition as the new element of the state. Today, we will discuss what is sovereignty and what are its characteristic features. Now, sovereignty, as I told you yesterday, it means supreme power. So, every state Now, so what is sovereignty? Sovereignty means supreme power. Only state has got sovereign power. No other organization possesses sovereign power. It is the sovereignty which differentiates state from other institutions and associations. So let us see the definition. According to Willoughby, sovereignty is the supreme will of the state. So what is sovereignty? It is the will of the state. Yesterday we have discussed sovereignty means, state means people. State means people. So yesterday we have discussed state is people organized for law within a definite territory. So what is sovereignty now? Sovereignty is the supreme will of the state, that is will of the people. The sovereignty has got 2 aspects, that is internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. Internal means the sovereign authority has control over all the individuals and associations and institutions within the state. And external sovereignty means a state is free from the foreign rule. It is independent. So, okay, I'll repeat. Sovereignty has got 2 aspects, that is internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. So, what is internal sovereignty? Internal sovereignty means the state has control over all the individuals and associations within the state. Then what is external sovereignty? External sovereignty, it means a state is free from foreign control. So every independent state is a sovereign state. So let us see the characteristics of sovereignty. The first character is absoluteness. What do you mean by absoluteness? Absoluteness means complete. Absolute means complete. So sovereignty is complete, absolute. It is complete within the sphere of the state. Okay, there is no other power above the state. There is no other authority above the state. And there is no legal limitations. Sovereignty has no legal limitations. And no other state can control the policies and actions of a particular state. That means a foreign country cannot control the independent state. So I repeat, the sovereignty is independence of the state. So when we say sovereignty is absolute, that means the state has got its own powers, its own sovereign power. Okay. But if we talk about the internal sovereignty, there are certain limitations. Some critics, they have said that there are certain limitations. That is, customs and traditions are limitations internally, and international laws are external limitations. Okay, customs and traditions, they are internal limitations, and international laws are the external limitations. Now, let us see the second characteristic, that is universality. That is, sovereignty is universal. Universal means it is applicable to all. It is applicable to all the individuals and institutions. All the individuals and institutions within the state, they have to follow the sovereign political authority. Sovereign political authority has control over all the individuals and institutions within the state. And sovereign power makes no exceptions and grants no exemptions. No exceptions and exemptions are given to anybody. Each and every individual or institution has to follow the orders of the sovereign authority. Okay. There may be some safeguards or exceptions given to the diplomats. So who are the diplomats? They are the ambassadors, we say. They are the foreign representatives. Okay. So some exemptions can be given to the diplomats. So I hope I'm clear with these two characteristics. So let us move to the next topic. Third characteristic is permanence. Permanence means permanent. Permanence means permanent. So it is it says that sovereignty is permanent. Okay. A state continues its existence. Okay. If there is a change in the government, it will not affect the sovereignty. Okay. Any change in the government will not affect the sovereignty of the state. The next is inalienability. Now, what do you mean by inalienable? Inalienable means cannot be transferred. Sovereignty cannot be transferred. Okay. The powers of the state cannot be transferred. If our powers of the state are transferred, then there is no sovereignty. There is no independence. So it is like the soul and the body, which cannot be separated from each other. So sovereignty, it is the soul of the state. Sovereignty, it is the soul of the state. We cannot separate sovereignty from the state. We cannot transfer. Okay, sovereignty cannot be transferred. That means it is inalienable. Next is indivisible. We cannot divide the sovereignty. The next point, indivisible means we cannot divide the sovereignty. Okay. And there will be only one sovereign political authority. For example, in monarchy system, we have king. So all the citizens have to follow the orders of the king. In democracy also, people has power to elect their government. So the sovereignty in democratic countries, sovereignty is in the hands of the people. So we cannot transfer our powers. We cannot divide our powers. And all the organizations and institutions, they remain subordinate to the state. They are subordinate to the state. State alone has got sovereign power. Am I clear with the features of sovereignty, characteristic features of sovereignty? Let us move to the next topic. We will discuss different kinds of sovereignty. Sovereignty is of different kinds. This is an SAQ, an important SAQ. Okay. So as we have discussed earlier in the previous question, that sovereignty is the supreme power of the state. It makes the state internally supreme and externally independent. Sovereignty, it makes the state internally supreme and externally independent. So let us see the classification of sovereignty. Sovereignty is of different types. The first is nominal sovereignty. The first one is nominal sovereignty. So what do you mean by nominal sovereignty? It is only for the namesake. Nominal means only for the namesake. The sovereign authority has power only for the namesake. So nominal sovereignty is also known as titular sovereignty. The nominal sovereignty is also known as titular sovereignty. The sovereign authority, he possesses the power, he possesses the sovereignty. He possesses the sovereignty. He possesses the sovereignty only for the namesake, like President of India. Here we can give an example as President of India. President of India, he is the nominal sovereign. Okay, so President of India, he is the nominal sovereign. He possesses the power only for the namesake. Nominal, I repeat, nominal sovereignty, it means possessing the sovereign power only for the namesake. Okay, the actual powers are exercised by the real sovereignty. He possesses the powers only for the namesake, like the President of India. Next is real sovereignty. So what do you mean by real sovereignty? Real sovereign, he actually exercises all the powers on behalf of the nominal sovereign. On behalf of the nominal sovereign. The real sovereign, he exercises the powers on behalf of the nominal sovereign. Example is Prime Minister of India. So all the decisions are taken by the Prime Minister and his ministers. But the approval has to come from the President. So President, he is the nominal sovereign, and Prime Minister, he is the real sovereign. I hope I am clear with these two types of sovereignty, nominal and real. Let us move to the next. That is de jure sovereignty. Now, what do you mean by de jure? Here, the power is exercised or authority is exercised according to law. Here we can say it is a legal sovereignty. Here I can give you an example. After the death of the king, his son will become the king. That is legal. Okay. So the de jure sovereignty means the authority, the power is exercised according to law. It is exercised according to the law. That is de jure sovereignty. Then the next one is de facto sovereignty. Now the word de facto, it is a French term which means real. The de facto is a French term which means real. So de facto sovereignty, here he may not be a legal sovereign. He may not be a legal sovereign. He comes into power. He possesses the power by force, by physical force. His authority is not based on law. Okay. See, difference between de jure and de facto is here he possesses the power according to law. But in de facto, he does not possess the power according to law. But he gets the power by force. Okay. By force, he acquires the power. So the example, we can take it as dictators or religious priests. In olden days, the kings were advised by the religious priests. So many a times these religious priests, they possess the sovereignty. Okay. So de facto is he does not possess the power according to law, on the basis of law, but he possesses the power by force. I hope I'm clear with this kinds of sovereignty. Let us move to the next one. An important question, a very important question. Differences between state and government. See, in yesterday's class, I have explained you about state. I told you state is a political organization. Okay. So, and government is one of the agency of the state. So let us discuss the differences between the state and the government. So we say state is broader, state is large. It consists of all the people in the state. That is, it consists of all the citizens, we can say. State consists of all the people, whereas government, it is a narrow concept. Okay, it consists of a body of few citizens. Few people will rule us, and they are called as government. I'll repeat, state, it consists of all the people. Okay, it consists of the rulers and the rule. Okay, it consists of the total population. But government, it consists of few citizens. So it is narrow, it is small. When compared to state, government is small. State is large. It consists of all the individuals. Government is narrow. It consists of only few citizens. I hope I'm clear with this topic. First point. The next is state is permanent. We have discussed. State has got sovereignty. So one of the feature of sovereignty is permanence. So state is permanent, whereas government keeps on changing. Government, it changes every 5 years through elections. So government, it keeps on changing. With the change in government, state does not lose its sovereignty. So state is permanent. Next is state has got sovereign power. State has got sovereign power, that is sovereignty, supreme power. It has control over all the individuals and associations. But whereas government does not have sovereignty. Okay, government does not have sovereignty. If you see, all the states are universal, same, okay, and in their nature and characteristics. All the states. Yesterday, I have explained you about the elements of the state. Every state will have a population, it will have territory, it will have government and sovereignty. So all states are similar, universal, but government, it differs from state to state. Like, for example, in India, we have parliamentary system. In USA, we have presidential form of government. So government, it differs from state to state, but states, all the states, they are universal. They are similar in nature and characteristics. So am I clear with these 4 points? Let us move to the next one. Next, state is whole. So state has got sovereignty. Sovereignty is complete, absolute. So state it is whole. It consists of 4 elements. It consists of 4 elements. This is what we have discussed yesterday. State consists of population, territory, government, and sovereignty. State consists of population, territory, government, and sovereignty. Whereas government is one of the elements of the state. It is an agent of the state. It is an agency of the state. Okay, the government, it works on behalf of the state. Now, the powers of the state are original, whereas government has got limited powers delegated by the state. State, it gives power to the government. State gives power to the government. So, government has got limited powers, but state has got supreme authority. So, every citizen or every person should be a member of a state. It is compulsory. Okay, you should be a member of the state. But coming to the membership in government, it is optional. It is voluntary. If you want to be the part of government, you can. If you are not willing to be the part of government, it is your choice. But a person should be a member of a state. It is compulsory. So membership in state is compulsory and membership in government is optional. This is one of the important questions. So I'll repeat it once again. Okay. Okay. So what is state? State, it consists of all the people. So it is broader. Then what is government? Government, it consists of few citizens. So it is, when compared to state, it is narrower. Then state is permanent. Once a state is formed, it is always there. But government, it keeps on changing. Government, it keeps on changing through elections. We change the government. Then state has got sovereign power. Government, it does not have sovereign power or sovereignty. All the states are similar in the nature and characteristics. If you see all the states, they have got same features, same elements, population, territory, government. Okay. Government, it differs from state to state. Every state has its own government. And in that we have like parliamentary or presidential. In India, we have parliamentary system. In America, we have presidential system. Next, coming to the next point, state has 4 elements, whereas government is one of the element of the state. It is, government is part of the state. It is an agency of the state. State has its original powers, whereas the powers of the government are delegated, are given by the state. State gives the power to the government. So membership in state is compulsory. Membership in government is optional. Okay, if you are willing to be the part of government, it is your choice, but you should be a member of a state. That is compulsory. I hope I am clear with this. Let us move to next one. That is state and society. See, you have 3 differences here: state government, state society, and state association. Mostly state government and state society. These are the 2 repeated questions. Okay, so let us discuss the differences between the state and the society. So what is a state? We know state is a political organization. And we have also learned about society. In first chapter, we discussed sociology. So sociology, it studies about society. So what is society here? It is a social organization. State is a political organization. Society is a social organization. Now, every state has got its fixed territory. It has got its limits. State has its territories, boundaries. But society does not have territorial boundaries. Society is your acquaintance. The more you interact with the people, they become the part of your society. So society does not have any territorial boundaries. Wherever you go, you make your friends, right? So society is, it does not have any definite territorial boundaries, whereas state has got fixed boundaries. Now, state has an agency, that is government, to control the individuals, to control the actions of the people. Okay, we have government. To make laws, we have government. But society, it does not have any legal organization to control the people. Okay, society does not have any legal or prescribed organization. And we know that only state has got sovereignty. We have been discussing this. I have been telling you this, that only state possesses the sovereign power. Only state possesses the sovereignty. So society, it does not possess sovereignty. Society does not possess sovereignty. I'll repeat this. State is a political organization. Society is a social organization. State has its own fixed territories and limits. Okay, state has got its own boundaries, whereas society does not have boundaries. Society, it does not have any boundary. Now, state has an agency to control the activities of the individuals. Society does not have any prescribed organization or legal organization. Okay, state has sovereignty. Society, it does not possess sovereignty. Then, state is not a natural organization. So, why we are saying state is not a natural organization? See, state was formed after society. Society was formed first and state was formed after society. Okay, so society is a natural organization. It is a voluntary organization, but state is not a natural organization. Okay, and state, it regulates, it controls only the external actions or relations of the men in the society. That means through government. What government does? Government makes the laws for the people. So government is controlling the men. So men, they are the part of society. People, they are the part of society. People is society. Okay. So state will regulate, control the external relations of men in the society, whereas society controls both internal and external activities of the individual. Here I'll explain you. Say if you break any law, you have to pay the fine or you have to face the punishment. Okay. That is, state is regulating the actions of the individual through laws. But society, see, whenever you are going to do or commit anything, any mistake, okay, then you will get a thought. You will think about it. Okay. That is why we say that society is controlling the internal and external activities. For example, if you are a student and you are thinking that you did not prepare well for your exam and you want to copy. So before copying, you will get a thought. What if I am caught? Right? What if I am caught cheating? So here the society is controlling your thoughts, that is internal actions, and your external. With that thought, you change your mind and you won't copy. So it is controlling your external activities as well. So society, it controls both internal and external activities of an individual. If you see, the laws of the state are uniform. Same laws are applicable to all. Each one of us have to follow the laws of the state. But rules of the society are not uniform. Rules of the society are not uniform. Am I clear with this? Let us move to the next topic. State and association. So we know state is a political organization. It is permanent. Once a state is formed, it is always there. But association, what is association? Association is a group of people. Okay, they work for the welfare of that particular group. So association, it is temporary. Okay, state is permanent, association is temporary. State has sovereign power. Associations, they cannot have sovereign power. They'll have control over the members of the association only. Okay, so associations cannot have sovereignty. State has fixed boundaries. Again, associations cannot have fixed territorial boundaries. Associations cannot have fixed territorial boundaries. Being the member of an association, you can interact with the members of your group from anywhere, but the state will have fixed boundaries. The membership of a state is compulsory. At a time, you can be a member of one state, and that is compulsory. Membership of association is optional. It is up to you. It is your choice. If you want to be a member of any association, it is your choice. So it is optional. Okay. A man can be a member of one state only at a time. A man can be a member of only one state at a time. Whereas a person can be a member of any number of associations as he desires. For example, I am a teacher. So I am a member of Teachers Association. I am a parent. I am a member of Parent Association. I am a member of my building association. Okay, so a person can be a member of any number of associations. There is no limit. Okay, but as a member of a state, you can be a member of only one state. As a member of a state, you can be a member of only one state at a time. Okay, that is the difference. Now, the state, it makes the laws. Violation of this laws leads to punishment. So if you are not following the laws, you will have to face the punishment. But association, okay, it has got its own rules and regulations, and you don't face any punishment there. It will not make any laws. They are simple rules and regulations. The aim of the state is broader. The state, it works for the welfare of all the people, but the aim of the association is limited. That means it works only for the members. Association, it works only for its members, whereas state, it works for the welfare of all the people. So the aim of the state is broader. The aim of the state is broader, and the aim of this association is limited. That means the associations, they work only for the members. I hope I'm clear with this. Now, let us discuss few very short answers, most repeated, important, very short answers. The first one is, what is state? So we have discussed this many a times. State is a political organization. See, if you are learning LAQs and SAQs, it will be easy for you to write VSAQs. So what is state? State, it is a political organization. It has got 4 elements: population, territory, government, and sovereignty. This is the plus point mark. In civics, mostly if you learn LAQs and SAQs, you will be able to answer very short answers. Okay, then this state, it makes rules to regulate the external behavior of the people. Okay, what does state do? It makes laws. It makes laws to control the behavior of the people, and it works for the welfare of the people. These 4 points. If you are writing these 4 points, that is sufficient for 2 marks. You will get 2 on 2. So what is state? It is a political organization. Try to remember the keywords. What is state? It is a political organization. It has got 4 elements. So what are the 4 elements? Population, territory, government, and sovereignty. What does the state do? It makes laws or rules. Why it is making laws and rules? For controlling the external behavior of the people. And it also works for the welfare of the people. I hope I'm clear with this VSAQ. Let us learn the next one. What is government? Now, government, it is one of the element of the state. It is an element of the state. We have discussed. See, in state, government is an element. So, next point, government is an element of the state. So, what does the government do? It makes laws. Okay. So, government, we say it is an agency of the state which makes and implements the laws. Why it is making the laws? To regulate the behavior of the people, to regulate the external behavior of the people. So, government, whatever may be the type of government, it will have 3 organs. So, what are the 3 organs of the government? Legislature, executive, and judiciary. Legislature, it makes the laws. Executives, they implement the laws. And judiciary, it will interpret the laws. So, governments are of different types. So, we know governments are of different types. Like in India, we have parliamentary form of government. In US, we have presidential form of government. So, I repeat this one. Government, it is one of the element of the state. It is an agency of the state which makes and implements the laws. Why it is making the laws? To control the external behavior of the people. And government has got 3 organs: legislature, executive, and judiciary. Okay. And every state has got different type of government. Like in India, we have parliamentary. In US, we have presidential form of government. I hope I'm clear with this. Let us move to the next one. Now, what is society? Again, just now we have discussed state and society differences. So, what is society? Society, it is a social organization. See, if you have learned the differences, you will be able to write 2 marks questions, or if you have learned 2 marks questions, you will be able to attempt the SAQs. So, what is society? It is a social organization. So, in society, we don't have any rules. It is the customs and traditions. Okay, customs and traditions are followed as rules of the society. Okay, so what do you mean by customs and traditions? In Hindi, we say riti rivaj. So, that is customs and traditions. Then rules of the society are not uniform. See, customs and traditions, they differ from people to people. So that's why we say that rules of the society are not uniform. Okay, these customs and traditions, they are rules of the society. As there are different cultures and traditions followed, so we say that the rules of the society are not uniform. Then, society does not possess any definite territory. Society does not have any territorial boundary, and it does not possess sovereignty. It does not have control over all the individuals. So, it does not possess any territory or sovereignty. The next one is monastic theory of sovereignty. Now, this monastic theory, why do we call it as monastic theory? Monastic theory means it was given by John Austin. He alone gave this theory. We have 2 theories of sovereignty, monastic and pluralistic. We are calling this theory as monastic because it is given by one person, that is John Austin. Okay, he explained this theory in his book, Lectures of Jurisprudence. He wrote a book. The name of that book was Lectures of Jurisprudence. In this book, he gave this theory. Who gave this monastic theory? John Austin. Okay, so we call it as Austin's theory also. It is also called as Austin's theory. Now, according to this theory, law is the command of the Sovereign. So what are laws? Laws are the commands, orders of the Sovereign, the supreme authority who possesses the power. Sovereign is the supreme authority who has got all the powers. Just for an example, whatever your father says at the home, that you all follow. So he is the Sovereign of your home. He is the supreme authority of your home. So what is law for, according to Austin? Law is the command, order of the Sovereign. And he also said that sovereignty cannot be divided or transferred. We cannot divide the sovereignty. We cannot transfer the sovereignty. That is the theory given by the John Austin. And he says that sovereignty is essential to every state to be independent. We have discussed this. I told you every independent state is a sovereign state. If a state does not have sovereignty, if it does not have independence, then we cannot call it as a state. So it is one of the essential feature or element of the state. So what is monistic theory? This monistic theory, it is also known as Austin's theory. It was explained by John Austin in his book, Lectures of Jurisprudence. He said that law is the command of the Sovereign, supreme political authority. We follow the laws which are made by the government, right? So sovereignty, it cannot be divided or transferred. We cannot divide our powers. We cannot transfer the powers. So once we are transferring the powers, we are losing our sovereignty. So sovereignty, it cannot be divided. It cannot be transferred. And sovereignty, it is essential. Every independent state, it possesses the sovereignty. Let us see the pluralistic theory. Just now I told you, Austin's theory is called as monistic theory because it was given by him only. One person gave that theory. But coming to the pluralistic theory, it was an attack. This theory was against the monistic theory of sovereignty. So other political writers, they opposed Austin's theory. So that is why we call it as pluralistic theory. And this theory was developed by writers or political thinkers like G.D.H. Cole, H.J. Lusky, okay, and others. So this theory was developed by more than one person. That's why we call it as pluralistic theory. And it was against the Austin's monistic theory. So what does the pluralistic theory say? According to this theory, sovereignty is enjoyed by other associations along with the state. So they said that sovereignty, it is enjoyed by not only state, but other associations also enjoy the sovereign power. Just for an example, family is also an association. So whatever decisions are taken by the head of the family, that is accepted and followed by all the family members, right? So that is sovereignty. That family has got sovereign power. The head of the family has got sovereign power. So here when we are saying that sovereignty is enjoyed by other associations along with the state, you can't say that only state possesses the sovereignty. This is wrong. They criticized monistic theory and said that you are saying only state it possesses the sovereignty. That is wrong. Sovereignty is enjoyed by other associations also. And laws are not the command of the sovereign. They said that you are saying laws are the command of the sovereign, but it is not true. They are not the command of the sovereign. Laws are made for the welfare of the people. So you can't say that they are the commands of the sovereign. I hope I'm clear with this topic. Now let us discuss the next one. Yeah. Next is internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. See, when I explained you the characteristics of sovereignty, I told you that sovereignty has got two aspects. Sovereignty has got two aspects, that is internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. Internal means the sovereign authority has control over all the individuals and associations within the state. The sovereign authority, the supreme power, which is vested with the government, they have control over all the individuals and associations in the state. And sovereign power is above all the laws. Okay, as government make the laws, people can reject the laws, right? So who actually possess the power in democratic countries? It is the people who possess the powers. So they can, reject the laws made by the government. So sovereign power, it is above all the laws. And sovereign provides right to the people. So the sovereignty, the supreme power is with the people. It is the right of the people. It provides rights to the people. So let us, with this we have completed, okay, external sovereignty. External sovereignty. So what is external sovereignty? A state is independent from the control of foreign countries. When a state is independent, it is not controlled by any foreign country, then we say that it is external sovereignty, which is also known as national freedom. See, before 1947, India was ruled by Britishers. India had population, India had territory, India had British rule. Okay, it was not independent. So India was not a sovereign state. After independence, India got sovereign power. So India got national freedom. So external sovereignty, it also means national freedom. Okay, so each state is independent of other states. So what does it mean? Every state is independent. No other state can interfere in the matters of the other states. So that is external sovereignty. With this, we have completed your second chapter. The weightage for this chapter was 17 marks. Okay. Let us move to the next chapter, citizenship. I'm dealing with seventh chapter, that is citizenship, because it is very simple and easy chapter, and you have got very few questions to learn here. If you are learning these questions, you will be able to write one SAQ and one VSAQ. So let us see what are the important questions in this chapter. The first one is how naturalized citizenship is acquired, how citizenship is lost. Okay, in previous paper, this question was asked, how citizenship is lost. Okay, and what are the various qualities of a good citizen? And coming to very short answers, you'll have a definition, then you will learn about jus sanguinis and jus soli, then you will learn about dual citizenship. No doubt, qualities of good citizenship you are learning in SAQ. So let us continue with this. Okay, so how naturalized citizenship is acquired? Now, citizenship is of two types. One is natural and another is naturalized. Natural means by birth you become a citizen of a country. Naturalized means you want to become a member of a country or you want to become a citizen of some other country. So that is naturalized. It is not natural. It is not by nature. Okay, it is your choice. It is your willingness. You are becoming the member of or citizen of some other country. So a citizen of one state can obtain citizenship of other state after fulfilling certain conditions. So you have to fulfill certain conditions to become the member of or citizen of some other state. For example, I'm born in India. I'm a citizen of India. If I want to become a member of UK, USA or some other state, I have to fulfill certain conditions. So what are the methods? How can I become the member of other country? Let us see. First is residence. Now here, an alien. Alien means a foreigner. Alien means foreigner who resides in a particular state for a particular period can become the member of that state. That means if you are living in a country, a foreigner living in a country for a stipulated time, okay, for a period of time, then he can become the citizen of that state. Okay, then he can become the citizen of the state. Then citizenship, you can acquire citizenship by choice. Okay, so this choice is given to the children. Okay, children who acquire citizenship on the basis of mixed principle. So what is this mixed principle first? For example, I am an Indian. I went to US, I settled there, and I gave birth to a child. Now, my child, he gets the citizenship of USA because he was born there. And he gets the citizenship of India because I am an Indian. Okay, so here he is getting citizenship of two countries. Okay, and he can forego, he can give away the citizenship of one country when he becomes an adult. Okay, once he attains the age of 18 years, it is his choice to be a citizen of India or to be a citizen of USA. So here it is by choice you can acquire the citizenship. Okay, the next is marriage. Okay, usually women, they forego their citizenship after marriage. For example, an Indian woman marrying a foreigner, she will become the citizen of that country. So women acquire citizenship of a state when she marries a citizen of another state. Okay, that is by marriage or through marriage, we can acquire citizenship. Next is application. If I want to become a member of some other country, if I want to acquire citizenship of some other country, then I can apply. Okay, I have to fulfill certain conditions. I have to apply for the citizenship of that particular country. The next is fixed assets. Now, an alien, a foreigner, if he is buying property, okay, or some portion of land, okay, or some fixed property, then he is eligible to become the citizen of that country. For example, if I am buying property in London, okay, I am staying in London and I am buying property also, then I can become the citizen of London. For that, I need to apply. Okay, the next is service. If you are serving in a foreign country, especially if you are serving in the government or organization or in a private firm also, you can acquire the citizenship. You can acquire the citizenship. For example, I'm going to USA. I'm working there. After a few years, I can apply for citizenship. Or if I'm working for the government of USA, then I can get the citizenship of USA. Okay. So whenever an alien, a foreigner, he receives the citizenship of a new state, he has to forego his native citizenship. So once I'm becoming the citizen of some other country, I have to forego, I have to give away the citizenship of my native country. Okay, so I'll end this session here. We'll continue tomorrow.